I'm Kenny Beckman with MustangsTV.com, and we are here with award-winning Loretta High School band director, Darrell Boston. Mr. Boston, thank you so much for coming out today to talk about how the band is preparing for the upcoming season.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And first I want to congratulate you and the entire band on the numerous awards you have won in the past.
Well, thank you very much. The kids have worked really hard.
And, you know, it may seem sometimes like the band plays second fiddle to the sports teams. Pardon the pun, but you're really the main reason why we have one of the best bands around.
Well, thank you.
And I want to ask you, what is the band doing at practice to prepare for the season?
Well, right now, much like our athletic teams, we have a fundamental training process that we go through, and I take it down to as if I'm teaching them how to walk all over again. In one sense of the word, that's really what we're doing. We're trying to walk in step and get everybody to start with their left foot, and it's left, right, and we pull our toes up. There's some fundamental technique things that we do there, and we have to do it going backwards. So we spend a lot of time at the start of a rehearsal. We stretch, and because we can pull muscles and things, we need to warm our bodies up as well as the athletes do. And then we go through our marching routine, and then we'll get into a formation we call our warm-up arc, where we have to warm up our lungs and our brains to get ready to play and make sure we're playing the correct notes and playing in tune. So we have a music warm-up as well, and once we go through the initial fundamental process, then hopefully we can transfer all of that to our drill maneuvers that we do with our competitive competition show that we perform on Saturdays at various competitions across a couple of states here in the area. So, it's a lot like preparing for a game. We get out there, we go through our routine, we get ready, and Friday nights we're all about promoting school spirit and cheering our Mustangs on to victory. And then Saturdays is kind of, as I tell folks, that's when we do our deal. That's where we go and get our evaluations. Although there's not a scoreboard of sorts that people can follow, we are judged or adjudicated by some of the finest band directors in several states, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and they give us some critique as to how we can move forward and continue to keep our program going in the right direction. So always striving to be better. That's one of our goals, and I tell the kids each time we take the field, we want to do something better. So that's what our rehearsals are, is getting ready for our evaluations.
Yeah.
Our classroom, so to speak, is evaluated each and every Friday night. If we're not doing our job, everybody's going to know it.
That's great. And the Skyliners were the past year's theme,
Right.
and what do y'all sort of have in mind for this year's theme?
This year's show, we're titling it The Music of Journey. We are opening up with that iconic 80s rock band Journey, and the opener is Separate Ways, and the second tune is the powerful rock ballad that they had, Open Arms. Then we kind of pick things back up again with Any Way You Want It, and we close with, believe it or not, I just found out this is the 30th anniversary for Don't Stop Believing, and we're going to make it something really special. We've got a big drum solo in the middle, and got a few surprises for our hometown crowd. We may actually just bust a move and do some dancing out there, but we're going to pay tribute to the music of Journey.
Well, we're all looking forward to hearing that.
I'm excited about it.
Me being a Journey fan and all.
Good deal.
So we'll see how that goes. And I want to ask you about how you got into music and your music education and background to that.
Well, I got into music basically. I was in Aiken, South Carolina. I was a 7th grader, and at the time I was playing football all the way through, and that's, I guess, where my love of sports came from, because I do enjoy all the sports, and I blew out a knee. There's a trap block got me one day in practice, and I kind of got chicken, and the doctor said if you get hit again you might not walk. So I thought, why not join the band? Because I knew my dad was the first drum major we ever had here at Loretta High School, class of 1960, and so I knew Dad was a trumpet player, and I thought, okay, I can join the band. I'll be like Daddy. Well, So I joined the band in the 7th grade, and from that first day when the band director brought out all the instruments and demonstrated every instrument, there was just something about it. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to learn to play all the instruments. And at the time, I had no idea that I would go into teaching. I just wanted to learn to play the instruments. So I came all the way through my high school career. I graduated from Lawrence County High School in '83, went on to on a music scholarship to MTSU in Murfreesboro, and then I got out, started teaching, and furthered my education. I have my master's degree and education specialist degree from Tennessee State, and that's how I got involved, and it's just a love that I have for kids and music, and I just want to be able to instill in my students my love for music, and have them to pass that on. Music is the universal language. I tell the kids, the better we perform, the more we tug on their emotions. We can have people laugh and cry, and I just wanted to share that with everybody, and that's how I got involved in music.
Well, that's why you're such a great director.
Well, thank you.
The band has many fundraisers, and y'all just had a yard sale recently. How did that go?
Well, it went well. This was our second annual community-wide yard sale, and we started this basically just to have an event where we could offer folks in the community or the surrounding area to all come together, and I guess you could say kind of in the flea market setting where people could come by and shop, and we rent out, or I guess you'd say rent out, the parking spaces in the parking lot for different vendors, we can call it, and the community comes by and they can shop and walk around, and it's a lot of fun to socialize with people. And we ask the band kids and their parents to clean out their closets and bring things, and we do have our own little booth, and things are going well. All of our proceeds, the money that we raise, goes basically to maintain the instruments, to purchase music, the music stands you see here. We have to provide our own funding for everything. All of the music we play has to be purchased by the band boosters. The school board doesn't purchase any of those things. The music stands you see were purchased by band boosters. All the instruments that we have are purchased by the band boosters. There's really, and I don't mean it to be in a negative kind of way, but there's no funding coming from the local Board of Education. So that's why we have that need to constantly having to maintain our equipment that we have. And a lot of the equipment we have, just for an example, is borrowed. The tubas, sousaphones that you'll see on the field this year belong to a great friend of mine at Lexington High School in Lexington, Alabama. Those things are $8,000 a piece. We don't own one here at Loretta High School, but yet you'll see 3 on the field each and every Friday night. So, it's not anywhere you can go and write a check for $24,000. So, this stuff is expensive. The band uniforms, they're $300 a piece. And I feel really blessed and fortunate to have friends, other band director friends, that will loan us equipment, flags, flag poles, all of those things that it takes to keep our program up and running. And we're on the right track. I'm really proud. This is starting my 6th year here, and I'm proud to be back home after being away for so long. And I feel like we do have things going in the right direction, and we're slowly starting to get our inventory where it needs to be, not only from an instrument standpoint, but from the music library standpoint, because that is our textbook. When the band members come to class, we use music, and supplemental method books, and that's where we do everything. That's our textbook. So that's the need for all the fundraisers.
Yeah, I know they serve for a very important purpose, and the band camps are always important, are always an important thing. So could you talk a little about those?
Band camp, easily described in one word: hot. We just completed our band camp last week, and the kids are here every day from 8 to 5, and we spend the biggest portion of our time outside from 8 to 12, and that's where we go through that fundamental training that I was telling you about. And the week of band camp, I have a couple of friends that come down and help me in writing the music and writing our drill formations. We call it drill design, or the visual package, to use the proper terminology that judges will use. And that's really where we learn everything. It's a week of intensified study and training on what we're going to be doing for the rest of our competitive season. And the kids did great. It was, like I say, really hot, but we took our breaks every 30 minutes. I tried to keep them hydrated, just like our coaching staff, they have to do. We have to abide by the same heat index rules and everything. So we stayed hydrated, and we were able, they were just fabulous. We got the first 2 selections with the drill design taught and workable, but we were able to perform last Friday for our parents and community members that came by for our parents' performance or preview performance, the first song, Separate Ways, with music and drill. So band camp is just a week of intensified training. You could say it's like our preseason.
Yeah.
It's getting us ready for the season. That's our preseason.
That's great. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to know what maybe your favorite musical instrument is, or what you played when you were in the band.
Well, without hurting anybody's feelings, I'd have to say my favorite would be tuba, because that was my major. I was a tuba major, baritone, the low brass instruments. But now, it all goes hand in hand. When I'm recruiting with 6th graders and trying to get them ready for beginning band class, that's a question that's always asked, is what's my favorite, or what's the easiest? And I guess I'm going to weasel out the question, but the same response I give to some of my 6th graders is they're all unique and special in their own kind of way. As far as what's easiest and hardest, I tell the kids, flute was difficult for me to learn in college, but it may be a piece of cake for you. Tuba happened to be easy for me, but it could be hard for you. Same goes with the instruments. There's nothing better than hearing a great jazz saxophone or a good trap set drummer, with a kick part into that jazz band, or a blues trumpet player, or a good slide trombone going. And it takes them all. We're all a family, and that's kind of the way our 2 seasons go. We have a marching season that we're starting to get involved with now. And then we have our concert season, which, by the way, we were invited last year, one of only 28 bands in the whole state of Tennessee, to perform at the State Concert Festival, and they just did an outstanding job. I was very pleased. And so concert season is a training session to get ready for marching season. It all goes hand in hand. We also have our color guards have a training session, and this year our winter guard, which performs to pre-recorded music in a gymnasium, whereas we do our stuff on the football field, they were a state runner-up. So we have a state runner-up winter guard program here. And because of our previous accomplishments, this year we've been invited to perform at the Division I State Marching Band Championship at Riverdale High School. And that's a contest specifically for Class A bands. Our athletic-wise, we're a single A school, so we got invited to perform in the Division I or Class A, single A State Marching Band Championship, and I'm really excited. And there again, I want to give all the credit to the kids, because I haven't played the first trumpet, I haven't marched the first step of drill. They're just fabulous, and I'm blessed to have a great group of kids to work with, and parents that are here and helping and supportive, and the community and all of their support and help, and some local businesses with donations. It wouldn't be possible without everybody. It takes everybody, and I'm just like to say thank you publicly, and without naming somebody in fear of leaving them out, but thanks to everybody for your support of the band program, and we hope we make you proud, and come cheer us on Friday nights as we cheer our Mustangs on.
Exactly. Well, Mr. Boston, thank you once again for being here with us, and we are so proud of what the band has accomplished.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation.
Exactly. Well, we're so glad to have you part of our school. And on behalf of MustangsTV.com, we want to thank Mr. Boston again for being here, and want to thank the viewers at home for watching as well. Be sure to check back throughout the year to find more interviews with the players and the coaches. Thanks.